So of course, in a way you could say, now I'm just producing videos to produce videos. Then you could say I'm overproducing, but in a way, somehow, there's still some kind of sense to whatever I'm saying here. So, I could think now, what's the underlying message of today's day? So what are the things I've done so far? What are the kind of videos I created? What are the kinds of things I have seen and experienced? How did I feel like? Well, for instance, I know what is driving me, and right now it's most certainly to be with that woman. And that's just the feeling I have, right? I mean, it's just a goal that keeps me going. And when I was lying, for example, here in the sun, and I was like without a shirt, and I was constantly in my fantasy world imagining how awesome it would be, you know, if she would be there and like touch my back. And sorry, it's really itching there. It's not because I wanted to draw attention to there, and it wasn't just because I really want to have sex. No, it was just the feeling of, you know, her touching me. But the other thing is, of course, I haven't seen her in ages. I can't even imagine it anymore. Because I don't know, it's just a feeling I have. And I realize I want her to be that person. So that's like my feeling that I had during the day, because I went inward and I realized this is what, you know, I'm longing for. And what else happened? Observed my parents, drank a coffee, ate pancakes, felt shit about it, kind of hated the world. So there is a lot of stuff to cramp in my day, and I already started this day, I mean, with recording more than 1 hour of a drawing that I made on my computer. And I already talked for more than an hour there. So, and I still think I haven't done enough. Like already today, I think I recorded 19 videos. And I still think I haven't done enough. Kind of weird, isn't it? Yeah, it cannot be that I recorded 19 videos. But it's possible. I don't remember. Oh, there's also a picture on it. And I think last night I still did one while I was filling these capsules. So of course, kind of you think, when is it always, like, when is it enough? And then when I walked here, I saw that man with the metal detector. And I thought, well, what is that supposed to tell me? Like, why do I see that guy today? I've never seen him. He was like digging up stuff. And our neighbor, he took like a small shovel and he was taking shit and put it into the gutter or something. So what is that supposed to tell me? Right? I could connect these things somehow, because they shape this day. But still on the inside, although I have seen all these things, I have observed all these things, I still have this feeling of, you know, I feel a bit shit and miserable on the inside. And that just makes still everything that I did and everything that I see kind of crap. And it's not enough, like, no, I want more. I have to make more videos. I want to have more time with woman of my dreams. And all these kind of things that kind of make me miserable. And it's really hard to say, you know, how I get there. And what am I looking for? Why am I still not happy? See, sometimes we're really looking for something, but what is it? Is it inside of me? Or is it something outside of me? Well, usually it's both. Or maybe it's just on the inside. and maybe I need to find that. And maybe if I found it, I'll be more complete. But how do I find that? And maybe in order to find it, I have to keep working to prove to myself that I can actually make it. But that all doesn't really make sense. So in a way, yes, it is the metal detector. Oh, that's it. And that's like your compass, right? You're pointing in the direction. And when you're heading in a good direction, it's effortless. And when you're heading in a shit direction, it's shit. That's just how it is. Like, it's effortless as shit. And in a way, and that's what a part of me hates, and that's the weird thing, that actually creating these videos is effortless. Because it's as soon as I stand here and I do this, it's effortless. But when I stop doing it, a part of me doesn't want to continue. And why is that? Like, what's that part of me? And there's probably a part in myself that hates me for having found what I like to do, because nobody has this. Like, my dad doesn't like what he's doing, or at least he doesn't allow himself to really like it. So most people that I meet, they kind of feel shit about the stuff they're doing, and they're constantly complaining about it, even though it's their choice to do it. And then I do something which really fulfills me, and then I blame myself for being happy, and I have the feeling I can't allow myself to be happy because everybody else feels shit. So I feel like I ought to feel shit too. And then I come here to this beautiful place, and I record videos, and I love that I'm doing it, and I hate that my dad can't do the same. But he does in a way. You know what? He does in a way. He's sitting on his laptop, working day in and day out because he actually likes to work. But there's things he doesn't like, and he focuses on them more. And then, you know, he actually also likes working on the facade. I don't like that. I mean, I would do it probably with my own house, but I don't want to do it for him, because I think, you know, he ought to do that himself. And that's just because I know how it is to work with my dad, and it's just tedious and effort, and I don't like that. So I know it's not for me. So I have to do the things that are effortless for me. But for that I have to allow myself to just do them anyway. So yes, I come here and I feel a bit guilty and I feel a bit shit, but I also feel pretty good about it. So I just keep doing what I love, and the more I do that, the more the world that surrounds me feels like paradise rather than hell. So right now, everything looks kind of clear, everything looks like kind of different. And it's hard to explain this. I cannot stress this enough. You have to experience it by yourself or you won't believe it. And it's probably like Rupert Sheldrake describes it, when he smoked the first time cannabis and he was in some kind of tent somewhere, I don't know where. And he smoked cannabis and he left the tent and he thought, whoa, what's this? It's like mind blow. What? This is how the world can be like? But then some people, they get stuck on the belief that they can only experience this through cannabis, and they never realize that you can actually get there by yourself. You just have to find that place of love inside of you, and you just have to work hard. Like, just is an easy word, but you work hard and you struggle through that hell, and you learn to love everything in the moment. And then suddenly you hear the wind. Holy shit, I mean, how many days that I cannot hear the wind because I'm depressed? And today I can hear it, and then I can hear birds sing. Sometimes people don't even hear the birds sing because they're like, because they eat the wrong things, they think the wrong things, they watch the wrong things, they listen to the wrong things, they do the wrong things. And wrong is just a perspective. Wrong for them. I mean, it's right if they want to be depressed, but it's wrong if they want to be happy. So if you want to be happy, you have to start changing. You have to start doing the things, and you have to keep going. Because right now I feel good. I feel good standing here. Maybe it's because I'm with the tree and I can hug it and I can say, hey buddy, like, you know how to live, right? Unless somebody comes with a chainsaw like, and cuts you off, like fucks the shit out of you. See, and then I get over like riled up, and that's the energy I suddenly have. And maybe it's because of the tree, but also it's because I'm spending time in nature and I'm healing these parts in myself. So I'm here, although a part of me hates it, because there's a part of me that hates life. And whether or not I have picked this up from my dad, I don't know. It might be that it's really just inside of me, and it might be I really pick it up from at home. It's possible. These things happen like this. So I stick it out here, I keep recording videos, and now maybe this is video number 17 or 15, who cares? And suddenly I stand here and it's awesome. And of course now I'm afraid, like, oh God, what if I go back to the camera now and I turn it off and you know everything feels like before? It doesn't matter because I know how I got there. I got here because I did what I loved, and it allowed me to have this one moment, this one amazing moment where I stand here and I feel good. And that's maybe also the point. Maybe it's because I'm standing. But also, look at what I did. I mean, I ran around and I jumped and I climbed trees, like, woohoo! You know, you spend time in nature. And that's what healing is also, right? You spend time in nature and you start to heal. It feels terrible, I mean, you know. The flu is just healing. You're healing, you're getting rid of stuff. That feels shit. It feels like suffering, and it's suffering. Because all these bad emotions, all these bad energies that you picked up, they have to come out. And therefore you have to let them go, which means you have to kind of relive them. And that feels shit, of course. Like being heartbroken feels shit to let go of that. It feels absolutely shit because it felt shit then, and it will feel shit now, but if you realize that it's just stuff running off, and it's not happening again, no, it's just running off, then you can stop recreating it, right? You let go of that feeling of resentment and hatred and fear. You let go of it, and once it's gone, you know, you still like memory, you know, the memory will stay for a while, but then you will reach points where you don't even remember ever having felt like this. Like, yes, I can see my dad and how he feels, and I kind of remember how it feels like to feel like that. But I don't feel that anymore. It's not my problem. So sometimes when I see people having all these problems and bickering about their own choices, and then I think, I mean, what the fuck, man? That's your choice. You're giving me shit about it, and I don't want to take it, so I stop listening to you, and I just go do the things that make me happy, because if you want to feel miserable, that's your problem. I've done this most of my life already. To feel shit on behalf of others, and because I thought I had to. So I worked myself out of it, and now I can do what I want to do. I just have to keep doing it, and if I keep doing this, you know, bam! Right? So I use the days where it's like sunny weather, and I come here and I do what I love, which is sharing with people who maybe want to listen to this. And that's all I can do. And then people that want it, they get it, and people that don't, you know, they can drop me an angry comment, which I will probably delete because there's no space for that shit. Like, keep your anger to yourself. You know, congratulations that you can leave it out, but thank you, YouTube, that there's like a strict mode for comments, which filters out all kinds of things and requires me to accept them or deny them. And they're probably going to all be denied. Because I don't want foul language. You know, it's enough if I say fuck a lot, you know? Other people would have to do that. I just want to be praised by the masses. Yeah. See, now I'm being courageous. I leave the spot where I felt comfortable, and then if I lose that, I try to work towards it again. Because that's how you have to do it. Because otherwise you're going to get stuck on the method of standing by that tree, and that's an equivalent, of course, for smoking cannabis or any psychedelic substance or anything. It can be sex or people or whatnot. Or good weather, you know, good in air quotes, because there's no such thing as good weather, there's just weather. And then it's a matter of whether or not you can accept that it's raining and that nature needs rain and that you need rain in order to eat and drink and stuff. Yeah, go swim in natural lakes if you want to heal. You know, in winter it's probably better. Listen to Wim Hof about that, or to any person who talks about this, because it actually boosts your healing and it takes you out of that miserable state of comfort and it destroys your ego. Because, you know, leaving your comfort zone on purpose is actually killing your ego. You know, whatever that means. It's making energy go out of your system.